The Tigers are back in the NCAA tournament. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now, brought to you by the Green Turtle.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and is locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome to the NCAA edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And Coach, Sunday night your team gathers at 9 o'clock, the selection show. What were your thoughts? I don't care who we play, I don't care what they're going to say, as long as they say our name, and you knew they were going to say it, but is that all you were concerned about?
Yeah, obviously we had earned the automatic bid, so knew we were going to be in there somewhere. Was hoping for a home game, it'd be great to get the seniors back on Unitas one more time. Didn't like the way the last one ended, against UMass, so good to get those guys back out there. But beyond that, it's like, we knew that we were going to face a tough team. Everybody that gets to this point in the season has been battle tested, has earned their way to the NCAA tournament. So we knew it was going to be a tough one. Didn't really matter who it was. We just had to figure out, what name they were going to call and start preparing.
Well, they called Maryland when they put your name up. What was your first thought when you saw Maryland up there?
I wasn't looking really much at all through everything, but, when the way the Big Ten shook out and then with the way the NCAA works with how they try to match teams up and stuff in the first round, I had an inkling it'd be an in-state team, and then just kind of thinking through the possible teams, it kind of, in my mind, continued to narrow down to Maryland. So, I was kind of thinking that way on the front end of it, and they validated it, and I was excited. We haven't played those guys in a long time. I was an assistant coach the last time that we did get to play them here at Towson, and I know our team was very excited. When their name was called. So again, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the best part is that your name is next to the H and not next to the A. So it should be a great crowd here at Johnny Unitas Stadium on Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now, when we look at Maryland, rough end of the season. They lost to Hopkins 2 times in a row. Big win against Penn. They've got 2 guys that are very, very potent in Wisnauskas and Bernhardt. Between the 2 of them, they've combined for almost 150 points. Those are 2 guys you're obviously going to have to keep your eye on.
Absolutely. One's Jared Bernhardt is a great attackman. Does a lot from behind the cage and handles the ball a ton. Wisnauskas is a good shooter and in good hands, good sized body, a local product from Boys Latin. So he'll be obviously excited to be back up near his home school and stuff. So those guys have played well off of each other, and obviously are a good 1-2 punch.
Have you? I'm sure you started watching tape already. What do you see from the two Hopkins games that they played that maybe you can take out of those? Or do you focus more on the games where they played well?
We look at everything, so it's you want to see them in different capacities against different teams, different systems to see what they try to run and how they adjust. They have two very strong face-off guys to go along with their high-powered offense, so that's something that they're going to be very ready for, and our guys are going to be challenged there and ready to go. In regards to overall, they're a good Maryland team. They know what they're doing. They do it well. I just feel like with the Hopkins games, watching those games, as you asked specifically, Hopkins just played a little bit stronger in the middle to third quarter, and that kind of separated them in that game. Maryland had leads in both those games early on. Then Hopkins just kind of made a run, overcame it, and then just kind of carried on from there. So they were tight, and then, like I said, Hopkins made the run.
As for your team, you've got guys that went to the Final Four on this team, and I'm sure they can tell the guys that haven't gotten that far what Towson is capable of doing here.
Yeah, as I said in the front end, it's you're at this point in the season. Everybody's dangerous, everybody's capable. The biggest is staying focused on what you need to do day to day to prepare yourself. We're still in classes, so making sure our guys are taking care of what they need to do academically. It's starting to wind down, so things are getting a little bit more hectic for them there. So staying as proactive as possible with that to go along with obviously our preparation on the lacrosse field and for our opponent. So it's a lot to handle at a very stressful time for these guys. But as seniors have done a good job, from last night when we found out to now understanding how to communicate to the team, how to keep those guys focused and moving forward.
All right, so the Tigers will take on the Terrapins 2:30 at Johnny Unitas Stadium. Glenn Smith and I will have the call for you at 2:15 on TowsonTigers.com. We've learned a lot about the coach this year. He was a great lacrosse player at Johns Hopkins and had a great career after leaving Johns Hopkins. But if Coach Shawn Nadelen had not been a lacrosse player, what sport would he have wanted to excel at?
I loved football. Absolutely loved football. And basketball. I was a terrible basketball player, but loved playing it. I still play it to this day. But football, that was, when you're a kid and you got the little form, what do you want to be when you grow up, and you could fill out all the different bubbles in regards to all the different occupations, lawyer, doctor, marine biologist, all that stuff. I was always a professional athlete was my thing, and mainly I wanted to be an NFL player. I was a fullback and linebacker in high school, so either one of those would be a lot of fun.
Well, we know he was a Chicago Bears fan, so he wanted to be the next Dick Butkus.
Exactly.
That's why you named your truck after Dick Butkus.
Yeah, Walter Payton was my idol. So.
All right, so that'll do it for this edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. Tune in next week when we talk about the Tigers in the quarterfinals. For the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Tigers.